Hey pool players, Ron here. Hey, I thought it would be worthy to put together a short video clip of something I discovered today. And I'm going to show you just a little clip here in a minute. It's a review on this, and that's called the third eye. I'll explain at the end after the video logically what I have discovered. So without further ado, let's check out this video.
Do a little longer now. A little bit of counterclockwise spin, meaning I'm hitting it to the right side. Looks like I have to aim to the left side of the cue ball a little bit. Look at that. Wow, subtle. There was no spin on that cue ball that time. Look at that. I have to aim it to the left side of the cue ball. Just a little bit off center, what I think is off center to my eye. Wow. Now I'm going to hit one to what I see with my eye and watch how this cue ball spins. Watch how the cue ball spins. That looks center to me. Look at that. Kind of hit it off. I didn't pocket it straight, so let's look at it again. That looks center to me right there. See how that cue ball spins? Wow. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and line up the third eye. Definitely looks like I'm aiming it, like I'm trying to cut it in to the right. Look at that. Amazing. Wow. I'm impressed.
Okay, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Now I'm gonna talk about some of the details here of how you got to reason this through. Now you know I have that spin on that cue ball, and what made me be able to shoot it without spin is the device itself, the mechanism, the little adapter that goes on your stick. These little forks right here are about 1/4 inch wider than a cue ball, or than a ball. A ball being 2 1/4 inches. So the inside is about 2 1/2 inches. So what it does for you is it trains you, if you can envision the same gap on each side of the fork between the ball and the fork. Because when I line up and shoot the ball in what I think I see, I have the cue ball, I have a gap. Let me use the cue ball so I'm not confusing. The cue ball has more gap on this side than it does on this side. Okay? Hope you can see this well with the camera. So what that means is that my stick is contacting the cue ball on this side, which puts counterclockwise spin. So then what I did is, using Kentucky windage, this thing is really what it's all about. It's Kentucky windage. It's like this. Let me use this analogy. If you're at the range and you've got your rifle, if you're a hunter or let's say, or a gun person, and you're shooting a target at a distance, 100 yards, and you're consistently, the target's got the bullseye, but your pattern is over to the left. My left in this case, your right. What do? Well, you can adjust your sight, but let's say you can't do that. So then all you do is use what's called Kentucky windage. You aim to the right to pull that pattern that was to the left into the center. Okay, that's known as Kentucky windage. So it's the same thing here. When I look at these prongs and I now equalize them, 1/8 of an inch, because they're 1/4 inch wider, 1/8 of an inch on a side of the cue ball, that tells me to look at the stick and see what that looks like on the ball. It looks like I'm aiming the stick to the left side, subtly to the left side of the cue ball. So that's what I need to envision when I make my shots. I always have to be able to look at that and not trust what I think I see with my eyes and put it right what I think is in the middle, but keep it just a little bit off to the left of center of the cue ball. And that will make me stroke it right through the center. I'm excited to try this because I want to do this on my power draw. Because with my power draw, I can pull it all the way back in the corner. You know, have a ball sitting there and put the cue ball right in here and pull the cue ball all the way back. But it's a whirling dervish when it's coming back with counterclockwise spin, always counterclockwise spin. And I want to be able to have that same spin tumbling under and coming back and not wasted energy spinning sideways. So I think it's going to be a big, big help. I'm shocked that my brain sees that way. So now I take it a step further. I reason, why is it that I see it that way? And I'm not unusual because as the creator of this explained, he says everyone has this. There's very few players that don't have this perception that they think they're looking at it straight and they're really off. There are some players that are just perfect. They see it and it's right there. Maybe like Earl Strickland and those guys. I guess that's what makes a pro, right? But anyway, this thing is so valuable in that it just taught me what I need to visualize as I address every ball, okay? And last night, I got to say, I was missing some shots. I had this one shot, I was doing a run out on 9-ball, and it was pretty long. It was, I think the ball was about in the middle. I was up there close to the corner pocket. I had plenty of room, wasn't jacked up or nothing like that. And every time the cue ball was hitting right here. It was hitting on this side of the pocket. I mean, I probably missed the shot out of 10, probably 8 or 10 times. And it was a slight cut back in, but I was overcutting it. So that's when I mentioned to Scott last night. I said, man, I gotta get something's going on here with my stroke. You know, I'm thinking it's my arm and stuff. Well, it's not. It's what I see. What you think you see is correct, and it's not. That's the problem. So fascinating, super fascinating. Oh, I don't know. I was going to say too. I look at what is making my brain think this. Now it could be this, because I had bifocals. I couldn't see. I was blind as a bat. If I took my glasses off and you were 10 feet away from me, I couldn't see your facial features. It was bad. So when I had my LASIK surgery, the doc, she asked me, you know, we did several tests, and she asked me, well, what do you do for a living? You know, what is your goal here? What do you want to see? Well, I want to be able to see. I want to be able to read. I want to be able to drive. I don't want to wear glasses. She goes, well, that's the best of both worlds, you know, distance, yeah, close up, yeah. So what she did, and I thought it was kind of odd at first, but believe me, it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, as I'm right now sitting here looking at the camera, everything is clear as a bell. I can see really well. But one eye, my right eye, sees really good from close up to about 10 feet out. My left eye sees distance. Driving down the road, I can look, 50, 60 yards ahead of me, 100 yards ahead of me, and see a sign, a street sign or a highway sign, and I can read the city or the, whatever instruction it is. If I close my left eye and look at my right eye at those signs, it's blurry. So my right eye is close up, my left eye is distance. Another thing, if I look at my speedometer on my vehicle and I close my left eye and look only with my right eye, it's clear as clear can be. If I close my right eye, that's the distance eye now, the left eye, and look at it, it's blurry. So that's interesting. So I'm keeping that as feedback here, okay, with this. If it's possible that right there is making my brain perceive a straight-in shot or an alignment as being straight in, where in reality it's a little bit off, or in this case, a little bit to the right. So this tool has shown me that I have to just adjust a little bit. And I'm talking about, it's probably about 1/8 of an inch, not a little bit. I mean, 1/16 to 1/8, I would guess. Because I'll tell you, man, it doesn't look like I'm hitting the cue ball in the center when I'm using this, but I know I am when I strike it, like you saw in that video, and that cue ball had no rotation, no side rotation counterclockwise. So anyway, I don't want to babble on too much more than that, what I've already said here, but you can see that this little tool is amazing. I think it's going to be a game changer, excuse me, a game changer for me. You know, we got to have a good foundation. We've got to have that lever. We've got to have, you know, that 90 that I mentioned and all that. But you also got to be able to line up on the cue ball and hit it in the center ball. And of course, then you're going to use your bottom and your follow and all that. You know, the Mighty X drill that I have, where I these two spots right here, and I shoot a ball from that spot and I try to follow it in. That is critical. You have to hit that. Now, I've done really well at that. But it's after I've, you know, ran the drill for a while and really just got a feel and got the feel for the shot. And we know a pool is feel. But you also have these points in time where, you know, some new shot, you're on the table, you're running a rack or whatever, you don't want to miss that shot. It ruins your run. And if you're not hitting the cue ball in the center, like my shot I mentioned, that I kept hitting right here, what the heck is going on? I couldn't believe it. It was like, I'm not that bad a shot. I can make that shot a lot. But for some reason, I was consistently overcutting the shot. And I think this will have a lot to do with what I've experienced in being a problem. So anyway, hope it helps. If you don't have one of these, I'd suggest getting one, because if you are struggling with pocketing balls, this may be a key answer to that problem.